Let's refresh this silk press. As you can see, I've had it for a couple weeks. It is old. My hair is looking a little oily, stringy. My roots are super reverted. And usually at this point, I would just wash my hair, but I just needed to style my hair for one more day. And as you can see a close up, my roots look like they're blow dried and reverted at the same time. My scalp doesn't look too bad, but trust me, there is a little dandruff in there, okay? So this is what you can do when you need just a couple more days out of your silk press. You're not ready to wash your hair because you don't want to do the entire routine again. This is what you can do, but I don't advise you do this often because it can cause breakage. So this is like a once every silk press type situation. Don't do it multiple times. So I like to work in two sections. I start by clipping up one side and then we will work with the one side. I kind of work the way I do if I'm silk pressing, except at the blow dry stage and not the flat iron stage. So I'm working in very big sections. So I've sectioned that piece out of the back, and as you can see close to the roots, you can barely see the roots and I can hardly run my fingers through the base. So we're starting with a moisturizer in the form of a leave-in, and I'm using this one from Amika. It is the Hydro Rush. I'm using 2 sprays per section. So even if I don't show it moving forward, in every section I'm putting 2 sprays. Unless the section is really small, then it's 1 spray. And I'm focusing most of it on the roots because that's where the hair is reverted and where it can be the hardest to detangle. You don't want to experience any breakage, so you have to make sure that your hair is soft. But also make sure that it's evenly rubbed between your palms, because if it's very wet or you spray it directly on your hair, it can make your hair revert even more, and what you're trying to do is just stretch the hair that's already reverted and not cause any breakage. So following that, I'm using my Amika serum, which is a heat protectant up to 450 degrees. I'm using about that much per section. Now, on a fresh silk press, I would use way less than that, but because my hair is already more reverted and sticky and I only need to get like a day or two out of it, I can go ahead and use a little bit more. And also, I'm just trying to be a little bit extra careful because I usually don't go in with a second round of heat on hair that's already been straightened. So, once that is worked in, I take my paddle brush, and as you can see, it is just gliding through that hair. I am making sure that there's no tangles or anything, and I'm making sure that not only is the hair detangled and combed through, but the product is also evenly distributed through the hair so that we don't have any wet spots or any tangles that can cause even more breakage. So once that is nicely brushed through, I'm taking my Amika round brush. I just realized now that almost every product I'm using here is from Amika. This is not sponsored by Amika. I wish it was, but I will link every product in the description box below. I'm pretty sure all of this is available on Amazon, so I will put those links. So you can use any blow dryer brush, you can use any leave-in and any heat protector serum, just to ensure that your hair is in great condition to go ahead and refresh the silk press. So I am using a round brush because I find that it's just so much easier, but you can use a regular blow dryer and a comb or a Denman brush or any kind of brush that will give your hair enough tension, and don't use it on a very high heat. This brush, I'm using it on the highest setting because even on the highest setting, it's not very hot. But if you're using a professional blow dryer or a blow dryer that gets really hot, use it maybe on the second to last setting, depending on how coarse your hair is. You could even use it on just a warm setting. So as you can see, I'm just gliding that through my hair very gently and very quick. And once that's done, as you can see, my hair is so much easier to brush through. And now everything that I did to that first little section, I'm going to continue doing to the rest of these sections. So I'm just parting it. I'm not doing big sections. I'm just doing medium-sized sections. I'm separating maybe every side into 4 or 5 sections. So the back is basically like in 2 sections, and then the front will be in maybe 3 sections. So again, I'm doing the exact same thing that I did the first time, focusing the leave-in all over the roots. And then once that's done, I work it down the rest of my hair shaft. And also you want to make sure that your ends are really protected. Don't worry, my hair was trimmed. It's just that because it's very like reverted and stuff, it looks like it's all different lengths. If you feel the urge to trim your hair at this stage, please do not. You can maybe do it on blown out hair or just do it on straightened hair. But with this reverted type of situation, all the lengths will be different. So do not panic unless your hair still looks like that after you flat iron it again or blow dry. So as you can see, Once it seems much easier to brush through, but you can see like the roots are super puffy, then I go in with the blow dryer and just make sure that I stretch that out at the roots. That is the most important part. I'm just sort of like twisting the ends to make sure that it's all nice and evenly straight. But all your effort is going to be focused on the roots of your hair, unless like all your hair is super reverted, which I feel like at that point you just go ahead and wash it. But for me, it was like the roots were reverted, but the ends were sort of straight enough to style. So now for the front section, as you can see, I'm styling this in 3 sections because I'm using a wider section and I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm just slowly twisting the brush. I'm not twisting it too many times because this is a giant blow dry brush, so it's not going to curl the ends even if I roll it many times, so it's sort of unnecessary. The only reason why I continue to roll it like this is because you want some tension in the hair, or else the hair is just going to dry in the exact same state that it is in, and then the reverted parts are just going to dry reverted. Okay, so you want to get some tension in there. So even if you're using a regular blow dryer and a brush, you want to have some tension on the hair as you blow dry. And also just listen and feel to make sure that you're not causing any breakage and any damage. So here I am done with this side of my hair, and you'll be able to see that while it doesn't look like a fresh silk press, it definitely looks so much better than it did at the beginning. The oil is sort of like evenly dispersed in the hair, and it's not looking like sticky and stringy anymore. And in a few seconds, I will be taking my wide tooth comb and a brush just to brush through and make sure that there's no tangles or knots or reverted spots at any point. And as you can see, it looks so much better. This is exactly what you're looking for. You're not looking for first day results because that is impossible. The only way to do that is to wash your hair again and look at the difference between the undone side and the refreshed side. So much better. I've only kept this for about 3 days, and that's the max that you need, because when it's time to wash your hair, you need to wash your hair, okay? Unless you're a straight natural and you play these games all the time, if you want to preserve your curls, you're going to need to wash your hair when it's time to wash it. So I did the exact same thing I did to this side, to the other side, and then I just decide to put my hair in a bantu knot because I feel like because it's kind of warm right now, I don't want my hair to revert. I need it to sort of stay taut while I work on the other section, and putting the hair in some kind of a bantu knot just makes the hair so much softer and shinier. I don't know what the magic is, but putting the hair in a bantu knot always works. Actually, I hadn't done the other side by now. I put the hair in a bantu knot, then I went ahead and did the other side. I just showed you a little sped up version so you can see that I didn't do any secret. I didn't get a flat iron and use any other extra heat or extra product. I did the exact same thing that I did to the other side on this side as well. I just ran the blow dryer through, focused it on my scalp, ran it through the ends, and used the same heat protector, the same leave-in conditioner. It is not a cream. It is a very lightweight product. You can also use the Pureology for this, and you can oil your scalp, but I wouldn't suggest it. I'd suggest you do that like after you've done whatever style you want to do. You can oil your scalp like in the night because it's just going to make your hair heavier. So as you can see, this side looks just as good as the other side. Really nice. It's just exactly what you need for a little silk press refresh. So I put it in a bantu knot as well. Then I headed to the gym.